Yeah, this is straight out of it.
Okay, so.
This is so hipster.
Yeah, dude. That's cool, man. All right. Okay, so basically I'm just going to talk quickly to you guys about some examples from like the Dutch Golden Age of painting, which can be described as the greater 17th century. Okay, so I don't really have much time, so I'm just going to jump right into examples, and then we'll kind of talk about themes a little bit at the end. Okay, so this is called Woman Holding a Balance by Johann Vermeer. Some things to notice before we talk about the different interpretations are that the scale is in perfect balance. There's nothing in it, but she's kind of testing its trueness. The painting in the background is the Last Judgment. You can see God up there and kind of all the people on earth. Okay, so Vermeer's paintings are very famous and very celebrated for their ambiguous interpretations. So one popular interpretation of this is that the woman disregards the spiritual in favor of the temporal and materialistic, as she concentrates on the gold chains and pearls on the table, which you can see right there. So another but significantly different interpretation is that the woman is actually an example of balance between the secular and religious. The mirror in the left of the painting, which you can see up there, represents self-knowledge. And she isn't weighing the riches on the table, but is instead testing the trueness and balance of the scale, and thus her own life, and all the while never forgetting the Last Judgment and the religious in the background. So, next one. So this is called Vase with Flowers by Jan Davids de Heem. So the Dutch during this time were very famous for their still lifes, and you can kind of see why in this picture. The extreme detail of the flowers gives the painting an almost hyper-realistic look. Not only has Heem observed many of the subtleties of the scene, but he has also added details that reveal a deeper meaning beyond merely aesthetic mastery. Art historians interpret the cross of a window pane reflected in the vase. I'm not sure if you can see it right there. The butterfly, kind of at the very top of the painting, which was also often used as a symbol of Christ's resurrection, and it's landing on a white poppy, which is a flower that's usually linked with the Passion of the Christ, as evidence of vase with flowers' religious undertones. Though still lifes from the Dutch Golden Era show an eye for detail breathtaking in its own right, these paintings often convey complex, subtle messages to perceptive viewers. Thank you. And then one more. Okay, so this is River Landscape with Cows by Albert Coop. So the cows contrasted against the bright sky appear pretty magnificent. I think that's the most striking and obvious thing when you first look at this. So cows were a very common sight in the Netherlands at the time and became something of a national symbol. The sunbeams pouring through the clouds onto this quintessentially Dutch scene suggest divine providence for the Netherlands. By depicting such a common scene as epic and beautiful, the painting glorifies common people, which is a trait that would later become very important in the artistic movement of realism. Additionally, the large amounts of space devoted to the sky, about 2/3, is pretty typical of Dutch landscapes at the time. So just with some quick basic themes, you notice the paintings appear secular from the offset, but often convey these kind of religious, deeper meanings. And yeah, just there's a lot of mastery and detail in these paintings as well. Visually very pleasing, I think. For your consideration.